20 years ago, a group of Auckland women began running art exhibitions to raise funds for New Zealand Women's Refuge. The first outdoor exhibition in 1996 was so successful, it has continued biennially and has grown into the largest exhibition of its kind in New Zealand, raising $1.3 million. For 10 years, children's sculpture at the fort has been running alongside Sculpture on Shore to exhibit work from primary and intermediate schools across Auckland. The process begins when teachers from the exhibiting schools join event organisers at the fort, where they're briefed and get the chance to explore the spaces inside the fort itself. As part of the children's sculpture this year, professional artists and previous exhibitors gave workshops at participating schools to help the students develop their projects.
And what we're going to do is record some audio of what you guys think. Like if your fish were around and about in the sea, what would you be like? And if you were a scuba diver, what would you be listening to as your fish were sort of swimming around you? So that can either be random sounds of, you know, what you think underwater would be like, or more importantly, I think, which would be cooler, is what you think your fish would sound like. It's quite neat because I mean I've been involved with Sculpture on Shore for the last couple of editions, and the fort and what the kids do down in the fort, the effort they go to is quite impressive, and to be involved at a middle stage, I guess, you know, I'm not sort of wanting to take over what the kids are doing, or I mean they're doing a great program here with the creatures they're creating, and all I can do is really offer them a different way of looking at art and a way of thinking about it, and a way of thinking about their art and how it's going to be displayed.
For me, this little polystyrene ball is like imagination. It's an object where ideas can be planted and grow from.
I'm just totally thrilled to see the response of the children and how they've totally got into it, and they're all doing their own thing. I mean, they're just loving it, and that's really lovely to see for me.
I think it is fantastic to not only give the children more opportunity in school to make more art, because it's hard these days for teachers to find the time sometimes to make art, which is a really important subject in the curriculum, but it gives them a sense that what you do in school relates to what happens in the outside world, and I think that is really important.
My background, I'm a contemporary sculptor, and but I tend to work in all kinds of media, just like you guys are doing, sort of with whatever you can kind of get your hands on, and on sort of big scales and small scales, but also using multimedia, video and sound and that sort of thing, to try and create an atmosphere. There's no point in making art unless people see it, and the earlier opportunity they get to put their work out there in a very nurturing environment. I mean, you're involved in a well-known exhibition with dozens and dozens of professional artists, and I'm hoping that's not daunting for the kids, simply for the fact is that there's lots of them doing it. I mean, there's hundreds of children making artwork for this show. They're in their own special zone, and it's, I think the context makes it a lot more nurturing rather than intimidating for them.
The week before the exhibition, the fort begins to transform as school teachers and helpers start installing their students' work. With the fort ready, students and teachers can take a break. Sculpture on Shore is nearly prepared, and soon the public will flow through admiring the work done for Women's Refuge and the creativity of New Zealand's young future artists.